The thing that's crazy is that if anything, the algorithm is helping you more than you actually think it is, which is kind of insane. Don't talk to your viewers as if you're talking like a content creator to a viewer. Talk to them as if you're talking to a friend. I don't mind like giving out the type of like this type of information because it's just like, why would I just willingly like look and see somebody have to go through the same mistakes I did? Like that's so stupid.
That was the voice of gaming content creator Vegabomb, best known for his short and long form content on Call of Duty and other popular video games. Over the past 4 years, he's grown to nearly 200,000 subscribers on YouTube and 100,000 followers on TikTok, totaling over 45 million views across all platforms.
And so we sat down with the man himself to pick his brain about the growth of his channel, his content creation journey as a whole, and get his best advice for creators of any size looking to improve their work and make better videos.
It was a very eye-opening conversation that's guaranteed to teach you something new and shift the way you view the video making process.
This is the working hours interview of Vegabomb.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Working Hour, the place to talk all things creative and help you grow as a creator, maybe a person. I'm Distorticon, joined today by my fully flourished co-host, VanguardAir.
Hi guys, I've been looks maxing all day.
Yeah, he can't shut up about it.
Yep.
And the first guest in the show's history, Call of Duty extraordinaire, Mr. Vegabomb.
Extraordinaire is crazy. I wouldn't even say that. That's a fucking stretch, bro. Like that is actually a stretch.
I was gonna say just Mr. Bomb, but that probably would not have gone over well with people without headphones in public places.
No, yeah. One of my friends like called like, cause I don't have like a name for like my fan base or whatever. So one of my friends, Claudio, called them the Bombers.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you can't dare call them the Bombers.
Oh.
Yeah, one of those things that's probably better left untouched.
Yeah.
Left unnamed. I guess we can start at the very beginning of the journey. What kind of got you into content creation to begin with? What were your earliest memories of just kind of making stuff? It didn't have to be videos. It could just be anything creative related that got you into making stuff.
I think it was like maybe like 9 or 10 is when I watched, I don't know if you guys know who Popular MMOs is. He used to make like crazy craft like videos and stuff, or he'd have like crazy craft Thursdays and shit. And I would like go on YouTube like after school and watch his videos. And I was like, he talked about how he like did it as a job. And I was like, dude, like, I mean, like as a kid, like then like that was unheard of, like playing video games as a job. Like that's crazy. You know what I mean?
And making bank from it. Some serious bank from it.
Making crazy money. And I was like, I just thought about it. I was like, dude, like I play video games for fun and he's doing it for money. Like, what the heck? Like, I'd want to do that. And so that kind of like really kickstarted like my love for wanting to make videos. And like that was like really when I was like, I want to do this as a job. But of course, like when I was younger, so it's like, it was more like a pipe dream type thing. So over time, like any other kid does, like they try to make their own videos. I think the first video that I remember doing was when I had I was playing GTA 4. And I had like my phone and I like propped it up against like something like on like a stool to look at the TV, to record the TV of me playing GTA 4.
The classic way of everyone doing that.
Yeah, like it was like the most scuffed thing ever. And like it was even worse because like I didn't even like close the blinds. So like the sun was like blocking like 90% of the screen. And you maybe saw like 5 or 6 pixels. Yeah, it was hilarious. It was like in my grandmother's like living room. So it was good. There's literally some videos, I don't know if I still have them up, but I have some videos where like I still lived at my grandmother's house. So like you can literally hear like my family like in the background where like I was literally editing these videos on PS4 Share Factory, like playing with my friends, like
dude, classic.
Yeah, literally. I kind of like took a break from content for like, well, I mean, I did like for like as a kid, like I didn't really get much. And then I kind of like was like, I didn't really think about it too much. I was like, it's not going to happen. And then during like high school is when I was like, you know what, let me just try it again. It was super on and off, like, you know, editing like on Share Factory again, doing that shit just for fun, like playing like Fortnite and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually like in senior year of high school, I was like, I don't really want to like work a job. Like I want to do, like, I might as well go for my dream. Like I have one life, like, you know what I mean? I might as well go for it. I started like, again, got my PS4, started editing on Share Factory, like editing my videos and stuff for that entire winter, saving up money, working too, and just trying to get a PC so that I can edit like on DaVinci and stuff. For the longest time, like I was literally like editing like my videos, like making my own content. I was working a normal job. I was taking editing work and also going to school full time. So it was just like trying to make it all work. Like, while my life did suck, I was making good money and it was paying off school. I didn't really care. And here I am now after like what, 4 years now doing content seriously.
Dude, for 4 years, that's really, really good, man.
Yeah, bro. Started at 34 subs and then, yeah, here I am now, 188K.
You know, a measly 188K.
Yeah, that's
I really,
pretty
I don't
average.
really think about it too much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of just doing it because I think for me, I always kind of like been that type of person where like letting money or just like some sort of fame or whatever maybe some sort of like external kind of like stimuli like affect how you are has been like a big pet peeve of mine. Like letting money like switch, like make you switch up, or like fame, whatever it may be, you know? So I never think about it. Like, I'm just like, these are just like, I know it's a bad way to think about it. It's like, and not really necessarily like dehumanizing those people, but like, I just see it as like a number because it's like, I haven't made it yet. So I'm just going to keep pushing it. And then I'll be like, you know what? I am like a YouTuber. Like, I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. Like, I'm just like, I make videos.
Yeah,
you know?
a doer of things, really, not a specific trade. I guess to push on to that, what was the first, I guess, what got you to land on Call of Duty? Because obviously you said you started with like GTA, but obviously now your primary thing is Call of Duty. What was kind of the push for that to be the main thing that you make content on? Was it a specific group of people, or was it just like something you landed on and was like, I love this?
I think it was literally just like with my friends. Like, I played it the most with my friends. Like, playing Mono for 2019 was like, I played it all, like all my friends played it. We all played it. So I was like, fuck it. I might as well just, make content on it. But then eventually it was like, I was like, okay, I'm sinking all this time into this. Like, I need to take it serious, like stick to something. And yeah, I was doing, Call of Duty at first. And then I switched to like Fortnite while doing Call of Duty. Like, it was just a bunch of various like stuff. But then once kind of like I had like that really big like pop or like decent video that did well, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just stick to this and just keep going, like if it didn't broke, don't fix it type thing,
Yeah
and just solidify myself in one niche. Because if you stretch yourself too thin, like it's just like they'll be like, oh well, I know you from Fortnite, oh I know you from Apex, oh I know you from Call of Duty, but it's like, which one is like your identity?
Yeah, I feel like it's either you solidify a style and that can allow you to go in some different directions, or you stick to a specific medium and then do as much as you can in that medium.
Like one of my friend Voots, I think, said it best is I don't know if you guys like know who Voots is. He makes like Fortnite content, but he was telling me, he's like, if you want to grow like as a creator, like nowadays, he's like, you do one niche, one style of content to start out, and then you branch out from that same game but different styles of content or like different ideas of content, so that when you branch out enough, like say like for him he does Fortnite, you do Fortnite funny moments, and then you do like Fortnite challenges, and you do like Fortnite role playing, or you do like Fortnite like skits or whatever it may be, right? So that people know you for these different things in that one niche. Like say like one viewer knows you for funny moments, but then they're like, oh, we made like a Fortnite skit video. I don't really watch skits, but it's Fortnite, so I'll watch it. Because a lot of viewers, like if you post a Fortnite video like all the time, and then you make a Call of Duty video, they'll be like, oh, I don't watch Call of Duty, I'm not gonna watch that. You know what I mean? You kind of have to like,
You had to ease your way into other things.
yeah, ease your ways into other like niches and stuff. And that's how you push yourself into other games. Like you go from like Fortnite skits or role play, whatever it may be, then to like Fortnite funny moments. Then you might switch to like, I don't know, Call of Duty funny moments. And maybe it'll be a little bit easier of a jump versus like Call of Duty, like story videos to like Fortnite fucking sweat gameplay, whatever
Yeah,
bullshit.
a ridiculously hard pivot. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like little by little steps. I mean, right now I'm not at that point because I'm comfortable with what I do. Like I love the content that I make now. Like I'm not really in like I'm still pushing myself, but I feel like I can still maximize my potential.
Yeah. The battle of getting better is never ending.
Exactly. And that's, to some people that's a bad thing, but to me that's a good thing, because that means that you can always improve.
I think when you first like sent me a message, you was doing Call of Duty and everything then. You've been doing it for like a while, but have you had any thoughts of like doing anything else outside
like
of
other
it?
styles of content? No, yeah, 100%. Like I do want to do other games and other styles of content, because it's like, I think what's kind of funny is that people know me as like the Call of Duty guy or whatever, but then it's like I'll stream and then I don't play Call of Duty. They're like, wait, he's a Call of Duty YouTuber, he doesn't play Call of Duty like on stream? What the hell is this? Like, this is a fucking scam. And I'm like, sorry guys, I like playing other fucking games. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like,
Calm down. Calm the fuck down.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. So like what I'm planning on, like what my strategy has been like recently is like with streams, or like what I use for like my Twitch and stuff, is like utilizing that time to be like, okay, I spend 1 day a week for 2 hours, kind of like I just do whatever, but I have an idea or I have a direction or I have some sort of goal or strategy behind it. Like, I don't know if you guys saw like Ludwig's like thing where he was talking about like with streaming, like how you should like go like focus on streaming and stuff like that, like how you should look at it in a sense is like packaging it, make it to where you can put it in like into a video or like has some sort of like structure to it or direction. So there's something people can just stick to and look forward to within the stream, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, like I did a recent stream, which was playing marbles, like marbles on stream, but it was 99% fail maps. So like there's a 1% chance of you winning. And if you win, you get to tweet out something that, or like you get to tweet out something that I'll tweet out like on my Twitter, and you get a special role in my Discord, like something simple, but it's like interesting enough to where people will be like, you know what? All I got to do is type exclamation point play in his chat and then I can play.
And see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. And they keep going and going and going because you want to win. You know what I mean? Because you see all these people like you lose and you're like, fuck, I want to win. And why it works is because it's like gambling. It's addicting.
It's still like gambling at a young age.
Yeah. But there's no like, you know, I guess negative like drawback to it. I mean, all they're doing is just wasting their time, but
beware the pipeline.
But it's fine. I still talk to them, and it's like I utilize that like that as like a reason for them to stay, but then find out, you know what? Even though Vega's not playing Call of Duty, he's still a nice guy. He's still a good guy. He's still funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
because there's some people who are so dead set on like, oh, if he's not playing Call of Duty, I will not watch that.
That's such an engaging way to get people to stick around, is be like, come here, roll the dice, fuck around with some marbles, and if you win, you get to tweet. If not, sucks to suck. You're gonna keep gambling anyway, motherfucker.
Exactly. You need to give them an incentive to stay and watch. Because if you don't, who fucking cares? Like, I'm being serious. Like, you can't go into the mindset with people just expecting people to watch your stuff. Like, you can't. Like, you need to work hard for it. Like, there's a way to structure your stuff. Like, I mean, everyone says like, I mean, it's the fact that this is even a term nowadays, like Mr. Beastification, like that's like a real thing, like attention, fucking like rigging everything. Like, it's crazy, but it's like utilizing, I don't go like with that route. Like, I don't go all in like that, but it's more so just like having some sort of like reason to stay. So like now, like I have like a bunch of stuff planned. Like the next one that I want to do is doing like just things that are like interactive with my community. So I'm gonna do like tier lists with my chat. I just like look at a couple tier lists and be like, yo chat, like which one should we do or whatever. Another one I want to do is would you rather, where like the way I'm doing this one is that to incentivize them being active and watching is that with Twitch streams, you get channel points, right? I'll do the would you rather, be like 1 or 2. They can gamble their channel points for the poll. Like, you know, like how you can like do the predictions.
Yeah.
And there's like the channel points you can gamble. I'll let them gamble the channel points for which one they think it is that's going to be higher, so that it incentivizes them to stay for the stream to get more points, to gamble the more points to get more.
I'm starting to think you really like gambling.
No, but that was just like one of them that I thought of that I thought was cool. Like, I mean, there's some that I want to do that just don't need that at all, but I just want to think of things where it's just like maximizing community input and just like just somehow where it's interactive.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you get use the YouTube community, like pour people into a Twitch stream of like, I'm doing a bunch of tier lists. Some of them are going to be COD related. We're going to rank like every COD. Like, come give your opinion. Let's see what happens. I'm sure that'd make a great video. You could name it something ridiculous. Be like the definitive Call of Duty tier list. Me and my Twitch chat. Like,
the most controversial Call of Duty take or whatever. Yeah, shit like that. Like, it's feasible.
See, I genuinely, from like an outsider, like viewer perspective, any person that I watch, if they do like a live stream where there's some sort of interaction that I can do, I'll watch that over like them being like, I'm just going to sit here and play Fortnite for 3
something that
hours.
you can easily chip in on. Yeah.
Because you feel like you're a part of it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're a part of what's happening. Like, you have control. Like, I mean, of course it's varied, but is like the fact you have some control over the outcome of what's going to happen is interesting to people. You know what I mean? Versus like you just typing in chat and just doing whatever. Like, yeah, like you can do that if you're just fucking bored, but it's like people want to be interested. People will get bored easily nowadays, you know? Like, TikTok is literally rotting people's brains. So it's like you might as well like give them something to actually do and fidget with and just, I guess, do something so they don't get bored anymore, you know? But yeah, that's like the plan right now, is just doing more stream stuff because I just want to grow that platform. Like, YouTube's doing really well right now, but it's like I want to, keep growing that, but also it's like, why not grow my other socials? Dude, if I can then develop an income through Twitch, like that'll be great. You know?
Yeah.
And then other things like this is kind of dipping into more like the real life stuff, but like next year is like I have my senior exhibition for college. So basically senior exhibition is like you have like your final like piece or whatever you want to do for your class. It's literally the class literally is just like, okay, you have one thing you can make to show people, like just like to the school and to like other people that just want to show up to the exhibition. It could be like a drawing, a painting, a design, whatever the fuck you want it to be. And they're like, the only prompt is just something that's going to stick with you for the rest of your life. So I was like, boom, I'll utilize that to just start my clothing brand. That way I make some really dope shit and I have a business at the end of the day.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's some sort of incentive behind it.
That's a really smart way to do it. That's kind of cool.
That's the thing I tell people like with content is like a lot of people will like just go all in on content. They just do it hardcore, but then they don't realize it's like you need to just have backup plans. You know what I mean?
Diversify.
Yeah, exactly. So that it's like if YouTube fails, I have my degree. If my degree fails, I have my business. If my degree fails, fuck, I guess I have to go to Twitch streaming, but that's like a last second, that's a last ditch option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's like developing these avenues for yourself, even if you're not like going all in on them, you can still do it passively, you know, just like dipping a little bit of your time into it will go a long way.
Definitely. Do you believe that like, I don't know, the way you structure your content, I don't know, the way you've progressed in it, obviously you're talking about school and everything. Do you think it's affected how you kind of look at school?
I think so. I mean, right now, like the thing is like with content, how like it's been doing a lot better now, like, and like I'm literally making full-time money while still being in school. Like I kind of had the mindset where I was like, well, I don't really need to go to school anymore because it's like I could just make more money just doing content full time. But I don't want to do it more so because it's just like I would feel bad for my mom. Like she wants me to go to finish school. She's not paying for it. Like I'm fucking paying them college, but I still like want to do it for her because I want her to have peace of mind that like if YouTube does fail or content does fail, I can still go and get a job, like a normal job. You know what I mean? Like I'm not completely screwed. So, and it's just like too, I think it helps you develop responsibilities and time management skills. Because I think when you're, a lot of my friends who are already like full-time content, while yes, they're making good money and they're doing fine, a lot of them, their time management skills fucking suck ass because they don't, all they do is just make videos all day. Or like, well, the thing is like, I don't know if you guys have experienced this where you have too much time in your hands. So you're like actually lazier than versus like when you're actually like on a schedule.
Yeah.
Or like you have like a time constraint because you're like, fuck, I only have 2 hours to do this. So I need to do it within this time versus like, oh, I have like literally 12, 16 hours to do this. I'll be fine. I'll do it later. Fucking 8 hours go by. You're like, oh, fuck, I haven't done shit the entire day. You know what I mean?
You work better when your back's against the wall.
Exactly.
And sometimes you have to put that pressure on yourself to make sure you get shit done.
When I'm like at home or just anywhere, like if I'm literally sitting like on a couch, like doing absolutely nothing, I'm like, what can I do right now that's productive? Like I'm not doing jack shit. Like there's a time, of course, to relax with your friends and hang out with your friends. Like I'm not going to be like hanging out with my friends and like in the middle of it, I'm going to be like, yo guys, you got to script up a short real quick. Yo, my bad guys. Like I'm not, that's like just being stupid. Like I'm not going to do that. But like if I'm just sitting doing jack shit, nothing, like I'm going to like whip on my phone and start scripting something or like, just think of like an idea that I can do so that it's like, at least I'm doing something productive, you know,
Yeah.
Like I'm not wasting my time because again, like every second that goes by, like that's just, you're never going to get that back.
If an idea hits you, write it down. Don't let it escape you. I'd be nothing without my notes app.
Yeah. Like it's happened to me where it'll be like, I'll be like the worst one is when I'm driving and I'll have an idea and I'm like, fuck, I can't whip on my phone right now because I'm literally fucking driving. But it's common where like, you'll be in like these awkward situations where just like, you're just thinking passively in your mind just because it's like you're on autopilot in a sense. Like there's like these autopilot tasks and then it's just like it clicks. You're like, oh, dude, why didn't I think of that earlier? And then you're like,
Yeah.
you write it down.
Your current like type of content that you're creating is very much Call of Duty heavy, both on your shorts and your main channel. I don't know. I've kind of seen that like Call of Duty, I feels like the general consensus is that a lot of like players over time, from my point of view, has said that it's like on a bit of a decline.
Oh yeah, I definitely think so. I think Call of Duty right now in the situation that it's in is like, I think this isn't even just like a Call of Duty thing, but I think it's just Call of Duty is like the one that's showing it the most. But I think it's a lot of like AAA games that are like this, where it's ending up to the point where creativity is like lacking. Like they're like each game is becoming less and less creative. the past Call of Duty games have just been rehashes or like remasters or remakes of previous titles that they've already done, because it's just easier that way. They're like, oh, well, if we would just put out a new game with like newer graphics that they already like, we can just farm the money again. You know what I mean? And that's like a very bad like mindset. I mean, it's good for them, but bad for the consumer. Like, I just hate to break it to people, but corporate greed is a very real thing. Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
things like that is like why it's a big issue, because they just like want to keep rehashing. And then it's like, you have these games that are like, there's just like a recycle of the title. It's like, oh my God, we're on Modern Warfare 3 part 2.5, the sequel. Like, it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Like, this new game is fun, but it's like, again, it still sucks that it's just like, there hasn't been a game in who knows, like since Modern Warfare 2019 that's really like revolutionized or like really pushed the game to where it's like, oh, this is different. And that's what I think a lot of games now lack, is where they don't push themselves. They don't try to like be like, oh, let's do something different. Like, they're comfortable because they're like, we're making money off this, so why change?
Yeah.
You know, it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's like, it's fucking, it doesn't work
in
like,
the worst way possible. Yeah.
Yeah, in the worst way possible, because it's good for them, but it's bad for us.
Hypothetical, right? Because it kind of ties into that with like the slow decline of Call of Duty. If miraculously, right, this year, Call of Duty, they just announced it like, no, we're done making games. We're done forever. They wipe themselves out of existence, right?
Everyone gets Men in Black wiped about it, and no one remembers COD. No one knows what COD is anymore.
Yeah, let's say it's fully gone, and let's say for some reason at the same time your channel and all of your platforms, right, they all get wiped as well.
Smited, gone.
Yeah, like fully
Reduced
smited,
to
like,
ash.
Like, just straight up just like eradicated.
Yeah, like do you think you'd be able to do like get yourself to where you are the same way you've done it, or would you do anything different? Would you do anything the same?
I think there's a lot of things I would do different. Like, there's like 3 big phases, I think, for a lot of like content creators that people have to go through. Like, the first one is like the honeymoon phase. Like, you're just making videos for fun, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like, you're just having fun doing it. Then it's like, you're starting to see kind of like a plateau or even like a decline where you're like, this isn't working. Like, even though I like doing this, why isn't it working? I think the biggest thing that people like content creators shouldn't, I guess, like, go through is don't blame the algorithm for like everything. Cause I think that's like, it's stupid. Like, don't blame it. Cause the thing that's crazy is that if anything, the algorithm is helping you more than you actually think it is, which is kind of insane. There's a lot of things that are kind of stupid that they do on their end, but it makes sense to an extent, you know? So for me, I would have skipped through like that whole mindset that I had for like a good year, where it was like, it's gotta be the algorithm. Like, it's not my stuff. It's not my content. And then realizing like what works and what doesn't work. But again, all that type of stuff takes time. What worked for me in Call of Duty might not work for what I do in, say, Valorant or Minecraft or I don't know, Battlefield, whatever it may be, you know?
Yeah, like content's fully different for all of those games. And I've noticed a lot of people's strategies are different.
Yeah, but there is stuff that is still universal, but there also is specific things that only work in that niche or like do significantly better in that specific niche.
Obviously, we just went over that. The general consensus, COD is on a decline. People are sick of it. But from a content perspective, I mean, you can look at other games. We've seen people have to kind of abandon ship and pivot to other games or genres. Like, I mean, the big example when we came up with this was Siege, which you love it or hate it. From a creator perspective, views are definitely down, and that can be attributed to a ton of things. But I guess with COD now kind of on the slight decline, do you feel any kind of pressure to pivot, or do you think you can keep things fresh? Or maybe is the move to incorporate other games, maybe just other shooters, and kind of bring that into your content as well? At least do one-off videos with those, see how those do.
Yeah. Right now, I think even though COD is like not like looking too high, like definitely like this new one, like definitely like looked like it was like, okay, like we're not completely fucked yet. You know what I mean? Like we're not completely screwed. But definitely like last game, I was really contemplating, like, do I switch? Because the last game was just bad for everybody. Like Warzone was dead in the water. Overall multiplayer was dead in the water. Like people were still making content on it like me, but it's like it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't popping for anybody. Like no one was doing good. So it was like, that's the big indicator for me, where it's like, are like the big creators, if they're switching, that's when you know it's bad. You know what I mean? Like that's when you know it's really bad. But like if it's smaller creators, like, I mean, it's not a huge difference. Like for me, it's like right now, even though Call of Duty isn't at its peak or like nowhere near as high as it was maybe like prime Warzone times, like 2-3 years ago. But it's like, I still know I can get more viewers out of the community that there is in Call of Duty, you know? Like my views are still going up and up as it is, you know? So it's like, I know I can still keep climbing and getting more and more and more like of an audience. But again, I'm still keeping my eye on like, how is the actual overall health of this game?
And comboing that with, say you start doing more Twitch streams to keep people engaged, the new people that you bring in, you get them over to Twitch, they have a good time. It's like, hey, yeah, fuck yeah. Like I fuck with this guy. That loyalty is established. So then maybe if you do start doing Apex or the finals, or what was that one game that was announced? Was it called Marathon?
They're remaking, Bungie's like remaking
Marathon, right? Yeah, I remember there's a lot of hype around that. Like whatever happens, like those people can be like, oh yeah, like this guy that I know from a personality standpoint, I know this is still going to be good, even if it's not COD.
100%. That's why I want to just like keep expanding. Like using Twitch is kind of like my outlet for just like doing stuff that isn't COD related. I think will allow people to learn who I am and like who I am as a person. Because that's why a lot of big content creators do well, is that while they're known for, or at least we're known for something, or like known for something before, it was tied to a game or an idea or whatever. But over time you learn that like, okay, people just like this person for who they are. Like they like Ludwig for Ludwig. They don't like Ludwig because of this. They don't like, or this. There are people that still do, you know, but there's a larger majority now from 4 or 5 years ago who liked Ludwig for Ludwig, you know?
I think now more than ever, it's very important to get people attached to either you as a person, just in some way, so you have no one if you try and do something different. I mean, that's generally speaking, people that do Twitch first, and then that becomes kind of stream highlight content on YouTube. That's kind of what you have to do. You have to get people that are like, okay, I love you and all, and I don't care what you do. Like, just keep being you.
Like it incentivizes people then also too. Like if it starts turning into like actual content, that's also an incentive for them to check out the streams, because they'd be like, ooh, I want to see if I make it onto stream. Like if I type in chat and I see my name, or like, ooh, like the thing I was a part of, it actually became a video. You know what I mean?
Frame it as a can't miss it experience.
Exactly. And also too, they get to see like what got cut and what didn't get cut, you know? It feeds into itself. It's a win-win. And then also too, like if you're doing streams enough to where it's like garnering an audience, now you have another income on top of YouTube and on top of whatever else you're doing. But yeah, that's like a big thing for me. It's just, I tell people, is like with streaming, always have an intention. Like don't just stream to stream. Like you're just wasting your time. There's very few people who like stream casually and are going to grow. Like that doesn't happen anymore. The only reason why that worked like before was because like that was like 8 years ago when like it was still like Justin TV and like Twitch was just starting.
This is actually a question that I'm pretty curious about. Just in form, like in terms of like, you know, how you run things. You know, your short form and long form content. Is there like a certain process that you do when, you know, creating it? Have you done like all of it yourself? Have you had editors? Have you had anyone that helped you like out in the production phases? Or is it all like at the moment you?
Right now it's all me, but I still like I still get like advice and stuff from like my friends. Like I'll be like, oh, like, yo, check this out. Like, what do you think about this? Or like, yo, I'm thinking about doing this. Like, what do you think about this? You know, because a big person, or like a lot of like within my friend group, like the people who are kind of like the front runners of like doing content right now is like me, my friend Aimbot. He also like makes like shorts too. He's got like 300 and something K. And then my friend Splash, who's got like 160K, I think. The one that does Valorant content. So like we all kind of like do shorts together and also long form. Like we're the main ones that kind of like are like really like, they're doing well for content and like kind of like going all in on it. So it's like we kind of like help each other out and just like be like, yo, like, do you think this idea will work or this idea will work? So like for me, my process is like, boom. If it's specifically for like shorts, I'll be like, okay, what's an idea that I can do that is interactive? Like the big things that I go for is nostalgia, relatability, and interactiveness. The big series that I did that like still does really well. It's like my consistent banger, like, or we can say like evergreen, right? Like what always does well.
The fancy evergreen term. I fucking love that. We love hearing that word.
Yeah. So it's like, that's always like the one that I like, kind of like the, like, what is it called? What's that SpongeBob meme where it's like, where he whips out like the box, like, and it's like shining, like literally like that. Like that's for me, like whipping out that series. Like, I'm like,
the gilded spatula.
Like, yeah, like fuck boys, views are down. Yo, we gotta whip out one of these again. You know what I mean? Like
reliable,
some shit like that. Yeah, exactly. So for me, like if, for example, like I'm doing something like that, like the one I'm working on now, is I'm doing a hot takes video where I've done it before and it does really well. Like I have like the way I go about shorts and like just my overall content is that I like having multiples of the same thing so that people be like, oh, I remember this like series that he does in this series, in this series. But it's not like I don't do them like 5 in a row and then another 5 in a row of a different one. Like I swap it over to be like, what your favorite blank says about you, hot takes video, another skit, so that it's like it's almost like TV where it's like you're familiarized with these things, but it doesn't feel monotone or repetitive because it's not the same thing over and over and over again. It's like there's still some sort of variation.
There's a schedule to the programming, but it's still
exactly
there's still enough in between every, I guess, quote unquote episode, right? To continue the analogy where it's like, okay, well, I know there's a new one next week, but until then there's this, this, and this. I like these as well.
Yeah. And I'll introduce new things so that it's like, while they're still carrying this momentum of like these things that they like, they'll be like, oh, this is new. Well, let me check it out because all the other ones are good. You know what I mean? Like the other ones add credibility to my new ideas, you know? So like, for example, this new one I'm working on, which is a hot takes video where it's literally just called like Call of Duty players have the worst hot takes is what I think I have the title as. Boom, I come up with a title or an idea. So it's like, oh, I'll do hot takes. Come up with the idea and I do this thing, which I don't know if they've taught you guys this. It's called mind mapping or just like brainstorming, I guess is like the more basic term. It's just like I'll bullet point just a bunch of shit that I possibly, not like every time, but like possibly want to talk about. It's better to have more ideas than less ideas. Like, cause then at least it's like, well, there's still some left over. Maybe you can use it for another video, et cetera, you know? So like, I'll just like bullet point shit like, okay, I want to add this. I want to make this joke. I want to do this joke or whatever. Like I want to say this, or like I want to make this reference. And I'm always big on like using references to things that like are popular or just like recent, because then that way it adds shareability to the video.
Yeah, you do that very well, in my opinion.
But it's like something like that where it's like current events or like some sort of joke to where it adds shareability to it. And that's why for me, I'm very specific on like what I use. Like I don't want to use too much, I guess, quote unquote jargon where it's like specific words that people might not know or like jokes that people might not know. Cause I try to go for references, but they're not like too specific. You know what I mean? Like generalized stuff that like everybody and their fucking mom saw. That's why it's like, it's important to just add those things that add shareability to it. And then a big thing is your vocabulary, the way that you speak to your viewers. Or the big thing that like Aimbot told me that like really changed how I thought about shorts and just overall content is don't talk to your viewers as if you're talking like a content creator to a viewer. Talk to them as if you're talking to a friend. They would rather hear like a person talking to a person than a creator talking to a person.
Yeah.
The way I see it is just like, don't be like, hey, what's up guys? Like, how we doing? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just talk like you're talking to a friend. Be like, yo guys, like, you know, don't you guys hate it when we blah, 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 blah. That's another big thing. Relatability in the intro or just whatever. And just having things that are consistent. So like for me, I'll be like, I don't know, like for my tagline that I use, maintaining consistency, mis amigos, I use the sound effect too. So that it's like every time they see that short, they instantly recognize with the sound effect, the noise, the what I say with the mis amigos, the font, they see Call of Duty like, oh, Vegabomb short. Like training my viewers, which kind of sounds fucked, but really like training my viewers like that. It's like, this is a Vegabomb video. This is a Mr. Beast video. Like it's kind of stupid, but it's like you have to do it with these people because they're stupid. It's bad, but it's just how it is.
It's true. Like there's a few people that I watch, and yeah, it's kind of weird. But like the second their video starts, it starts off the exact same way every single time, and I'm like, yep, this is this guy. There's no fighting it. And I'm like, yep. Because
people because of how TikTok is now. Like I'm one of those people that TikTok has done more bad than good. Like I'll say it straight up. Like even though I use TikTok, it's helped me with my brand like so much, but it has done more bad than good. Like it's literally ruined people's attention spans, like horrendously. But it's like because of that, people have had to adapt. So like that's why all this retention jacking like bullshit is such a big thing now, because they have to do it, or else people don't want to watch because they've been trained to just watch 30-second videos and that's it. And even then, that's maybe like, oh, this is too long. It's like it's 30 fucking seconds, bro. Like how do you not understand that? Like that's crazy. Like how do you survive school? Like the fuck?
Yeah.
But like maintaining consistency, and then also too just like using relatability and nostalgia is like so powerful in shorts, so powerful. That's why like whenever I speak to the viewer, I don't say do you. I usually just go like we, because it's like I want to feel like we're related in some way to something, like we're relating to an experience. Like it's just like it works both ways, and it works so much, and it's just again like trial and error, of course, but that's what I found out to work for me. I'm not going to be like, this is what's going to work universally every single time, but it's like I've done it enough to where I feel pretty confident on some things, you know?
Definitely. Obviously, you talk a lot about, short form content like shorts and TikTok. And even off of this recording, like privately, you've talked to me about it a little bit. Personally, I think that it's like a really, really, really good thing to like take advantage of. But do you think that a lot more people should be taking advantage of it?
With shorts?
Yeah, with shorts. Like it seems pretty strong.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also too, I have, my perspective is very specific because I literally do shorts, but I just, I'm a big advocate for it because it's really, really good in a sense because it depends on how you do it, because it is true. There's people who do shorts, they do really well in viewership and they make long forms and then they don't do it good at all. Like they have very bloated channels. I don't know, 120,000 subs and you're getting literally like 5K views a video.
Yeah.
Like it's very possible because again, YouTube is even now is still really bad at pushing long form content to shorts viewers. But then you have to also understand these shorts viewers have never seen any of your, like for some of them have never seen like what your long form like looks like at all. Like they don't know what your thumbnails look like, whatever it may be. So what ends up happening for a lot of people is you'll watch like, say for example, you watch like one of my shorts, my video will come up on your feed like when you refresh or whatever it may be, right? But again, they don't know that it's my video. So then they'll just like scroll on whatever and then refresh again. YouTube will be like, well, that was the one chance you got and you didn't fucking get it. So sorry, bro, you're never going to get pushed again to this guy's sub box or
you're
homepage.
Fucked, buddy.
Yeah. Because people really don't check their sub box. Like everyone checks their homepage. Like that's kind of like the thing that everyone does. And it was also shown by YouTube that if you have enough people in your sub box, they will only send notifications of certain people because it's like it overloads their system or some bullshit because it's like they don't want people to get like 250 notifications a day of like they have like 250 channels subbed and shit, which I get, but then that screws over a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it sucks. But yeah, like shorts I think works or can really, really help your channel if you just know how to do it right. Like if you know how to promo your long form right, if you know how to transfer them over. Like I don't know if you guys have really seen like the way that I promote people or just like bring that traffic over to my long form, but I always like do like a little thing at the end, like talking about my video, or just like I'll even have just like a straight up promo of like this video is entirely structured to promote my long form video, like those are the ways you had to like transfer them over. Cause then it's like, if they watch the short, how will they know that you make long form videos?
I don't know. Like I don't understand personally, like how to transition people from shorts to long form content. Is there like
I mean, there's different ways you can do it. I mean, I think the best way and what's proven best for me and also my friend like Splash is that what he does is he'll be like, I don't know, he'll usually just be like talking about a topic. Like say for example, he has a video where it's about, I think the one that he did was this is going to sound so stupid. He did a tier list video for Valorant for what Valorant agent had the thickest ass.
Oh, Jesus.
I'd watch that.
Oh my God. Yeah. So like that was like the idea, right? So like he made like a whole short where he's like, guys, we have to talk about this. And he's like, Valorant recently has been like really changing over these past few months, but we've been skipping over something that no one's talked about. We found out like blah, 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 blah. Like we actually rated all the characters like for how thick they are in my new YouTube video. And then they'll check it out and transfer it over. You know what I mean? I explained it horribly, but like it's basically like that. Like he makes some sort of like narrative or like figures out a way to segue it to like the long form. And that's what I do, but I do it like a speedrun version of it where I'll be like, end the video and I'm like, also check out my new YouTube video, boom, die. Like that's
you make basically make a narrative or claim in a short and then at the end say, I have a long form video that backs up that claim or narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, oh, you want to see more of this? Like you could check my video here,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like I would say like, of course, look at how Splash is like his literally his biggest video, which I think is like 7.7 million views. Like is literally a promo. Like it's just a straight up promo for a video. And in that video that he promoted literally got like 330K views.
Ooh.
Jesus.
That's why I tell people like shorts can seriously help you. I mean like 7.7 million versus 330K is of course a big drop off, but dude, that's 330K views. You know what I mean?
That you probably wouldn't have gotten that many to begin with. That's a big deal.
So it depends on how you just structure it, like that's why I'm saying like I'm an advocate for shorts. It's just a matter of like knowing how to do it.
Damn, that's very enlightening. I'm actually gonna have to start using that a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really understood shorts. But yeah, you've always told me that it's something like very good if you know how to use it.
Yeah, because it can fuck you over like 100%. Like it can really screw over your channel. Like if you don't do it right, like it'll make your channel look bad because it'll be like, yo, this guy's 100K subs, but he gets 2K views a video. Like what the hell is this? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's super dependent. So, and then there's like it's difficult too to like start out with shorts. Like it is like I'm being so dead ass. Like starting out like for shorts is super tough. But I mean like that's kind of like with YouTube in general. Like it's until you get that one video to bang, and then that's just like it's just easy from there. Like Van, do you want me to talk about like the seed audiences thing that I was telling you about?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'd love to.
So basically, Distorticon, there's this thing called seed audiences with YouTube, where when you start out on YouTube, and like again, YouTube doesn't know what you're like. You're not like basically you're not big enough. Like even for me, like sometimes they'll do it, but it's like if you have a new YouTube channel, YouTube doesn't know what you are. Like they don't know like what type of content you make. So what they'll do is that if you post a new short, whether say it's Call of Duty, like for my example, they'll throw it into a seed audience, which is basically they'll throw it out to people who like Call of Duty, who like gaming, who like Fortnite, who like beauty content, who like sports content, whatever it may be, just to get a wide range of people and just see who it does well with. Because even though it says Call of Duty and it has the game as Call of Duty, it won't put it out to Call of Duty people. It'll just put it out to random people. That's why when you get a lot of shorts, that'll be like 2K views and then it just flops, because you'll get those 2K views of like seed audience. And then depending on how it did, they'll be like, no, I think it ran its course. And then it flops. Or not flops, but flatlines.
Is it only for like newer channels, or even if like a channel's been there for like a while, is it still kind of do that?
It depends. I mean, if you kind of like slow down on like making content, it could be difficult, because it's like, especially like for like my friend Aimbot, like recently, like he kind of like took a break from shorts and then coming back, it didn't do as well initially, because again, like so people like kind of like stop watching his content, so it's going to push it away more and more and more. So he's kind of like working against the tide, where it's like he's having viewers that like will like just straight up don't see his stuff anymore. Like say like for example, he had 30,000 viewers like off rip ready to go to watch that new short. Now he may maybe only have like 5,000. So that doesn't help his viewership either, because then YouTube's like, well, you're not getting as many views as you used to. It's not doing as well. Fuck, we're not going to push it as much. So it's really dependent. It all varies. Like there's a bunch of variables with it. Or like how often are you posting? But then again, like if it's a good enough video, it can push through that easily. Like for me, like even though I talked about like, yeah, I've had videos do really well, there's also a lot of time that I've spent just learning and figuring out like what works.
Yeah, learn from the mistakes. That's not to call back to us, but we named our show after a song, and that's one of the lyrics in this song is, we are paid by those that learn by our mistakes. You learn by your fuck ups, and ideally, if you can, other people's fuck ups, so then you don't make those same fuck ups.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't mind like giving out this type of information, because it's just like, why would I just willingly like look and see somebody have to go through the same mistakes I did? Like that's so stupid.
Exactly. Generally speaking, obviously you've had a lot of success through short, through long. You've learned some things. You've tried some things that didn't work, others that have done super well. You talked about how you format your stuff. So let's say for any size creator out there, what are your top tips? Whether they're brand new, or they're up and coming, or they're as big as you, or bigger than you, there's always something to learn. We're big on the learning. Give us 3, maybe more tips of what you would give to anyone just looking to get better at their shit.
The big thing is, I think a lot of people, they try to be authentic when it comes to their shorts or long form. Like they want to just like do it like off the dome, like as natural as they can, especially for like their intros or like their outros or like how they're structuring the video. But it's like, there's parts where you're going to have to script it, or like you're going to have to like plan ahead of time and stuff like that. So like, I think for a lot of people they're really afraid of doing that because they feel like they're going to lose authenticity. You learn with time, like how to do it to where it still is authentic, but it's like, it's just easier to follow, and it's going to be just easier for you to structure and just make the video. I used to like, at first I was doing them just like off the dome, just be like, okay, let me say this. Okay, I think that one was good. All right, we'll rock with that one.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like now, like I fully script my shorts, which is going to be like, oh my God, wait, this isn't natural? Like,
They're
this
fake?
isn't like,
no.
Yeah. You know, like, yeah, it's like, oh, you think I was just thinking of this like off the rip? Like, what are you, stupid? Like, come on. I would just like straight up just be like, yeah, I would just be like, you know, structure stuff, like scripting stuff, like it's important. Like, of course, don't script the whole fucking video. Like, don't script all the jokes and shit. But
yeah, it's not
like,
a screenplay.
yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have to do like line by line, be like, and then I said, like, no, like that's stupid. Like, but just structure stuff in a way that where it just makes it easier for you and the viewer to follow and understand, and just make it just a win-win for everybody. That's why I say that, like, it might feel daunting, which it's going to be, and you feel like you're not gonna be like, I'm lying to my viewers, I'm not being for real. Like, dude, like it's okay. Like you're still being you. Like you're not lying or anything like that.
Still your way of doing it.
Exactly. And you're just like structuring it to where it's just like you're cutting a lot of that fluff out, and you know what to say, and you're not gonna mess up, and so you're fine. It's better that way. That's one tip I would say. Another one I would just be like utilizing just nostalgia and relatability, and just other current events like within your content and within like what you're making, because it just makes it way more shareable that way. Like if you can make it to where somebody can share it to somebody else, and they like still like they enjoy it for the one thing, or like they stay for the one thing, but like for whatever the reference may be, but then they stick around for like your actual content, that's a win to me. So that's a really big thing. And then just using relatability, of course, because you want to talk to them as if they're people. Like at the end of the day, we are both human. No, in no circumstance am I better than you. There's no circumstance at all. I think that stuff is like so stupid that people like develop egos and like all this stuff, like think that they're just like a higher being or whatever. Maybe you're just higher than everybody else just because you have 1 million subs on YouTube.
It's just
like,
a number.
It's just a number. Like, and again, like that's what I said before, is like I don't want to dehumanize my fan base. I love my fans. Like I love people who watch my videos. I'm thankful for them every single time. But I don't see it as like, oh, well, I got 188,000 subs. Like I'm the shit. Like who cares, bro?
Yeah.
Like if I walk out in public and say, yeah, yo, I got 188,000 subs on YouTube, everyone will be like, yo, go fuck yourself, bro. I don't give a shit. Like the fuck?
Get away from me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yo, like I don't care, man. So like that's the big thing, is just utilizing like your ability to talk with people. While it's not going to be good at first, it will improve. Like if you go back to my older shorts, I sound like completely horrible like in them. Like I sounded like super quiet and super nervous or whatever it may be, because I was. But I took that step and improved it over time. Because I think people are always pushing for perfection, like off rip, first time, every single time, but it doesn't work that way. With anything in life, you're never going to be good at it at the first try. You have to just keep pushing. I mean, of course, just like you understanding like what works on YouTube. That's another thing too, is just researching like what does well, not even just in your niche, but just what works on YouTube in general. It's like another big thing. The sad truth is, I take a lot of references from different videos and different thumbnails or whatever it may be. Like I won't just rip it one to one, but I'll be like, you know what? Like that structure is interesting. It worked on this channel. Why wouldn't it work on mine? You know? Yeah. For like, I don't know if you guys have like gone on my YouTube at all recently, but it's like every thumbnail is a different style or a different structure or like whatever. It's not the same thing. It used to be like the same thing, like 3D model, like doing some stupid shit, purple border, whatever background. That was it. But now it's like I'm doing like different things where I'll be like, okay, this one I'm going to do like a Mr. Beast S thumbnail. This one I'm going to do like, this is one crime YouTube channel that has like the red arrow. They have some text on it, whatever. Super clickable.
JCS.
Yeah, I think so. That one. Or I'll do like a Matthew Beam thumbnail. I don't know, like A-Rack, whatever it may be. Like something that's just like, I'm just thinking of like off the dome, like popular, like people who are like kind of doing similar Mr. Beast style videos. But again, it's just experimenting, you know, and taking references when not, I guess, plagiarizing, you know, like don't take it one to one, add your own twist to it. Yeah. Just like Ludwig said, which I honestly like, I hate Ludwig's content, but I respect it. Like it's like the big thing that he does where he's just like, take an idea and twist it. Like you can like, there's nothing original really anymore, you know? So just like grab it and then add something else to it. Now it's an original idea. Wow. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah. Just like building upon things that are already established.
Exactly. Like there is no real pioneers anymore. Like there will be, of course, but it's like, it's not like completely where it's like, yo, this is like literally never been done before, you know? Because there's always some sort of like thing that it can go back to. So yeah, that is it. My 3 yap tips.
3 yap tips.
Dude, I literally feel like I've been just like blabbing on for like so long this entire time.
No, this is kind of what we wanted, man. You know a lot of shit. Well, this is your way to air that.
Would rather have you talk.
I'm just really bad with concision, like a lot of times. Like I kind of keep to myself.
I would never have known that because you've fucking killed it so far. So
yeah, you've done Great.
I mean, I pretty like, I think on online I'm pretty like extroverted versus like how I am in real life. But like, even just like with content, like if you guys like have seen any of my content, I kind of just have my main IRL friend group, and that's really all I make content with. All the people I really make content with. That's really it. Like I do play with other people, but it's kind of like my online friend group. That's maybe like a span of like, or like a group of like 10 people. Other than that, I don't really play with anyone else. I just kind of like, I'm comfortable with who I am with now, but it's like, I know that if I work with other people, it's gonna, one, broaden my horizons with stuff, but two, it's just like, I make a friend out of it. And it's like, who knows, like something good might come out of that, you know?
I need to sip some fucking apple juice. Give me one moment.
All good.
You're probably free to chug like a shit ton of water now.
Dude, my lips are dry, bro. Like they're fucking chapped right now.
All right. So Distorticon, have you had your little juice boxy?
Don't fucking talk to me like that.
Why do you say it like that?
Just don't do that.
Sorry, my bad. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
Yo, he like genuinely regrets it, bro.
I'm like, shit, fuck.
I just closed the fucking lid on it and set it down, and you're like, you tiny little guy. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Oh, goodness, my bad.
All right. For both of us here on the show, we thank you for tuning in to The Working Hour. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter X, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, and Google Podcasts, even though that's going away and becoming YouTube Music podcasts, I guess. Fuck if I know. We also have a Spotify playlist featuring some of our favorite music, so if you're curious what we listen to, go check it out. It's pinned on the More Like This section on the Spotify mobile app if you go to our page on Spotify. And on desktop, if you just search songs from The Working Hour, it should hopefully come up. It's a public playlist. You'll figure it the fuck out. Stay smart, stay focused, stay creative. Vegabomb, our wonderful guest, any closing remarks or things you'd like to plug?
I guess watch my videos. I hope you enjoy them. That's really it. That's all I can think of.
Twitch.tv/YouTube Vegabomb.
Yep. And don't do drugs, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the kids, man. Yeah.
Drink your water.
Drink a lot of water.